Radhanand Prabhu, your thing is not working. It just goes down. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Radha Kunja Vihari. Oh. Anyway, I think I'm on lower scale. Anyway, yeah. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Radha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Hari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Krishna Hare Shri Radha Madhav ki jai, Radha Madan Mohan ki jai. God. So, it's less time and I'll discuss something. Okay, so today I'm going to discuss something about Bhagavad Gita. The essence or the summary of Bhagavad Gita. And I'll give you a new perspective, a fresh perspective to look at Bhagavad Gita. But before that, we have to offer invocation. Om ajnana-timirandasya jnananjana-shalakaya chakshur unmilitam yena tasmai 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗪 Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita 𝗙𝗲𝗪 Gaur Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so what is Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is not a book. Bhagavad Gita is Krishna himself. And the chapters of Bhagavad Gita are not chapters. They are the progressive stages of realizations. And the verses of Bhagavad Gita are not verses. They are the mind of God. So, those who are not so mature in devotion, they can cram verses of Bhagavad Gita. They can read. But those who are mature, they dive into those verses. They go deep. And they know when they are approaching those verses, they are approaching mind of God. Sentimental people, they praise Krishna's name, form, beauty, pastimes. Mature people, mature devotees, advanced devotees, they also praise Krishna's name, form, pastimes and beauty, but they are also interested to know the mind of God, to know how Krishna feels. They want to go in Krishna, if there is something inside. For Krishna, inside, outside is one. But they want to know what is in the heart of Krishna, because that matters. That's what matters, no? Everybody could see Krishna when he was on the planet Earth. Kamsa could see him. Duryodhan could see him. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗪 could see him. But even after seeing, they could see him. Because for them, he was the enemy, no? They couldn't see who Krishna was. They couldn't realize it. Why? Because, well, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗪 said, Krishna is beautiful, handsome. That everybody agreed. Kamsa also agreed. Everybody knew Krishna is so nice, beautiful, his pastimes are so great, Govardhan. But the difference between demons and devotees was that demons could not understand the heart of Krishna, but devotees can. So how to peep into the mind and heart of Krishna? The way is Bhagavad Gita. Krishna comes to this world and he says, see, I am revealing my mind. You open this book, you open my mind. So this is the attitude we should approach Bhagavad Gita if we want to understand Bhagavad Gita. If we read Bhagavad Gita with this attitude, she will reveal to us. Bhagavad Gita is going to reveal many meanings to us. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srimad Bhagavatam, he spoke on one verse, Atma Ramascha Munyo Nirgranthya Purukrame. That one verse, when he had discussion with Prabodhanand Saraswati, one verse of Bhagavatam, he gave 64 meanings. 64 different meanings, and still he was not finished. He could have done infinite. Similarly with Bhagavad Gita, there are many meanings to one verse. It's endless. It will not finish. It's endless. So what is there in Bhagavad Gita? Why so many people praise Bhagavad Gita? Indian philosophers, Western philosophers, theologians, humanists, politicians, everybody has praised Bhagavad Gita. Even scriptures themselves praise Bhagavad Gita. So let's take a tour of Bhagavad Gita. What's there inside that? Okay, so how many chapters are there in Bhagavad Gita? 18? How many verses? 700, okay. So, what is the most important verse of Bhagavad Gita? Can anybody tell me? Most important. How? No. No, after that. 𝗪धर्मान् परित्यज्य माम् एकां शरणं व्रज. That's the most important verse of Bhagavad Gita, we all know. 𝗪धर्मान् परित्यज्य. Abandon all religions and surrender unto me. But the question is, how do we know that this is the most important verse? That's the question. Because it is not said, but Krishna doesn't say, now Arjuna, I am going to tell you the most important verse, abandon all religions. He doesn't say that. If you read Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, 66th verse, before that, Krishna doesn't say, atha mahatpurnam shlokam vadami. For example, he doesn't say that. He just speaks. So how do we know that this is the most important verse? Who has told us? And why? You might say, Prabhupada said, fine. But my question is, why did Prabhupada say? There has to be some logic behind it, no? If Prabhupada said, if Acharyas say, there has to be some logic. Why this verse is most important verse? Because if you go to Himalayas, Rishikesh, you meet yogis. For them, this is not the most important verse. For them, in Rishikesh, you will find an institute, Kriya Yoga. I don't know, in here also you have Kriya Yoga. So, for them, the most important verse is 4th chapter. 4th chapter, there's a verse, pranapan samayukta. When you're breathing inside and outside, they coincide. Then you get samadhi or whatever that Krishna says there in that verse. And that's okay, this is the most important verse. So for different people, for example, for politicians, what's the most important verse? Karmanne vadekaraste ma phaleshu kadachin. Do your duty. So how do we decide that this is the most important verse? People can say you're biased. What's the answer for that? Oh, yeah, you can tell. Tell me.
So it talks about surrendering.
That's okay, but that is according to us. No? For yogis, it's not. If you meet yogis in Himalayas, they'll say, you're fools, you want to surrender. You don't have guts. You should do on your own. Why do surrender? You talk to them. They'll talk like that. They'll say, you are important. You believe in surrender. You believe in humility. You don't have courage. They talk like that.
Because you want to experience this emotion and you have to surrender.
That is your perspective. That's the point. See, so so now we have to convince them why this perspective is correct. That's our job. No? Otherwise, why we are preaching? No? So that's my question. Why? We can't take everything blindly. That's blind faith. Of course, Prabhupada said once, Prabhupada said blind faith is the highest faith. Prabhupada said that once. If you believe blindly in spiritual master, that's perfect. But the point is, when you preach, you can't preach like that. No, blind faith is the highest faith. And that kind of blind faith comes after, it should come after you've understood everything, not before understanding. No, then it becomes sentimental. Prabhupada said, this is science. I'm telling you science. You should understand everything logically. Prabhupada wanted his disciples to understand everything logically and rationally. That's why he opened this institution. So why is this verse most important to us? What's the logic behind that? And who told us this is the most important verse? Even before Prabhupada. Prabhupada himself says in one of his purports in Srimad Bhagavatam, he often quotes one Acharya, 𝗙𝗂𝗪𝗓. 𝗙𝗂𝗪𝗓 is spiritual master of Ramanujacharya, one of the spiritual master. And 𝗙𝗂𝗪𝗓 has written a book, Gita 𝗪𝗲𝗀 Sangraha. That's in Sanskrit. And in that book, he revealed to us that this 𝗪𝗲𝗀 𝗪𝗲 is the most important and central verse of Bhagavad Gita, and he gave a logic for that. And the logic was, for understand that logic, that why this is most important, you have to go in the first chapter. Now let's come to first chapter, and then we can understand the answer to this. So what is the name of first chapter? Bhagavad Gita? Okay, Arjun, but English? Okay, Arjun Vishadi. Okay. Yeah. Setting the scene? No, setting the scene. Observing the armies? Yeah. Yeah, same, yeah. So that's the first chapter. Okay. Okay, yeah. So what is the teaching of first verse? For first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, sorry. What's the teaching of that? Okay, I'll ask you one quiz. What is the first verse of Bhagavad Gita? First verse. 𝗪𝗪 कुरुक्षेत्रे. Are you sure? Everybody? Yes or no? And if I say no, that's not the first verse actually. Because this verse is spoken by? No, Sanjay. Oh, yeah, this conversation between Sanjay and Dhritarashtra, this verse is spoken by Dhritarashtra to Sanjaya, not Sanjay. So this is not where Gita starts. Gita starts from where Krishna starts speaking his instructions. So Gita starts from 2nd chapter, 11th verse. Ashoche nanvashocham stam pragyavadam shabhashase gata sunakata sumsho nanu shochanti pandita. Arjun, you're acting as a wise person, but I think you're number one fool. Because wise people do not lament for those who are gone and those who come. No, gata sunakata sumsho. So this is where Bhagavad Gita starts. Officially, according to textbook, it starts from 1.1. But if you really ask from where Bhagavad Gita starts, 2.11. And you know why I'm telling you this is? Because when you go to preach in India, and you meet some Mayavadi scholar. So do you know who is Mayavadi? Everybody knows, no? We have heard so many times Prabhupada, Mayavadi, all these jnanis, and if you really meet them, they'll ask you this question. If you want to debate with them, they'll ask you this question. What is the first verse of Bhagavad Gita? And if you say 𝗪𝗪 Kurukshetra, they'll ask their assistant, bring laddu, give them, okay, Ashirvadam, go. No talk. Because by that question they can judge how much you know things, how much you have read. That was a Vedic system of debates. When you have to debate two scholars, first he will ask a question, and then he will ask a question. If somebody is unable to answer, he is lost, even before debate. So, yeah, we should know this. This is a good thing. You can forget your name, but don't forget these things. Don't forget Gita. That is Bhagavad Gita. You can forget your mummy, papa, uncle, auntie. No problems. But if you forget Gita, you forget Krishna. And if you forget Krishna, you forget yourself. And if you forget yourself, that's spiritual suicide. You're finished. It is said by Lord Shiva to Parvati, anybody who can remember the word Gita at the time of death, he can get liberated. Anybody who can remember even one letter of Bhagavad Gita, he can get liberated. Anybody who can remember even one full stop of Bhagavad Gita, he can get liberation. Anybody who can remember the blank space between two words of Bhagavad Gita, he can get liberated. You can imagine, Bhagavad Gita is absolutely, it's very nice. You should not read, you should never read Bhagavad Gita. Really. You should drink it, eat it, make vegetable out of it and eat it so that it goes into your blood. It should be in your blood. It should be in your mind. That is Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so what is the teaching of first chapter? What does first chapter teach us? So we'll go from first to 18th chapter. But to answer this question, why 𝗪𝗪𝗀 𝗪𝗪 is most central verse, we have to know first chapter. What is the teaching of first chapter? How do we learn? Anybody? Just you have to tell, that's all. You can be wrong, that's okay. No problems. It's better to be wrong here rather than when Yamdut come, then if you're wrong, or when Krishna comes, if you're wrong, then that's not a good thing. When Krishna comes, he'll take an interview, don't worry about that. He'll take, when you go to Golok, there'll be an interview, when you're entering, There'll be all panel, gopis can dance, but they can also take interviews. So they'll test you how much you're prepared to be with Krishna, to talk with Krishna, to play with Krishna. They want to make sure, you talk sense with Krishna. You can't talk nonsense with him. So you have to be trained for that. So okay, fine. So So what's the teaching of first chapter?
The body is separate from the soul.
That's his second chapter, body and soul. First chapter, that topic doesn't come. What is the message? Oh yeah, you can speak in mic. That's okay, because some demigods are also hearing. There are some demigods. I came to know. Online, they hear. So okay. Oh. The central teaching of first chapter. That's the idea. Yeah, Prabhu.
Arjuna was, after looking at the armies from both sides, he was very much morose that he had to fight and kill his own kinsmen.
Okay.
And he expressed...
Can you tell me in 2 words, 3 words, the teaching of first chapter? I just need 3 words. That's all. 3 words, that's all. See, I've been giving these seminars, now, 4 or 5 days. You know me now. I need precision and I need a scientific answer. You know what, one thing? There's one system to know whether the answer is correct or wrong. If the answer goes very long, this means it is wrong. It's like that. Teacher can sense that. But you are right in one sense, but I need precise thing. Make things clear.
Righteous people win.
Huh?
Righteous people win. Dharma wins.
But that's not first chapter. There's no talk of even... Bhagavad is not finished, no? That is last chapter, no? Dharma wins. 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗪 Krishna. This is not first chapter. It's not begin.
Let me try. Setting the scene.
Huh? That is the name. That pretty much that is an explanation what's happening there, but what is the essence? That's not the import. That's a description, that's not the import.
Thinking in bodily consciousness.
Body soul will come afterwards. Second chapter, not first chapter. Okay? My dear devotees, all of you have read Bhagavad Gita and you all distribute Bhagavad Gita day and night, but we should also know Bhagavad Gita. Isn't it? We should know. And we should know word by word. There are many people in India who can chant Bhagavad Gita from first chapter to last chapter, upside down, inside out, even while sleeping. I've seen people. You wake them up, okay, recite 15th verse. They'll be sleeping, okay. Then they'll say, 𝗙𝗲𝗪 𝗪𝗲𝗪, they'll keep on. It's there in their blood. So that's Prabhupada said. We should know Bhagavad Gita as a law book. Prabhupada said we should know. This is Nectar of Devotion and Bhagavad Gita. 2 law book for us. Not Manu Samhita. That comes afterwards. So, you wanted to speak something?
About the duty. So
Duty?
Arjuna's duty is to fight this war, and this chapter talks about...
Okay, let me reframe the question. What is the confusion of Arjuna?
Between he is unable to decide which form of religion he has to adhere to, whether social customs or any higher form of principles.
Okay, you are slowly coming to the point. Fine.
Whether it's between like samajik dharma or artha shastra.
Okay, I'll give the answer now. To somewhere near the point. The confusion of Arjuna is putting morality over devotion. 3 words, morality over devotion. For him, morality is more important than surrender. That is his misconception, no? He is giving all moral excuses. If I kill, what about females? How should I shoot my guru? It is not said in Dharma Shastras. Krishna is saying, you fight, that's my will. You should surrender. Arjuna says, no, for me morality is more important. You got my point? Morality over surrender. Krishna could diagnose this problem of Arjuna. Krishna is doctor, is the best physician. He can see right through a soul. Isn't it? When we come in front of Krishna here, Madan Mohan, we can see him, but he can see us better than what we can see him now. He sees our soul. Yeah, you have to go on.
Fight or not to fight?
Fight or not to fight? Why he was confused? Because of this misconception. It's okay, everybody got my point? For him, morality was more important than surrender. This was his disease. And what is the medicine for this? 18th chapter. Abandon religion and surrender unto me. You see, Krishna overturned that, no? Just overturned. His problem was, he was considering morality more important than surrender. Krishna told, no, 𝗙𝗲𝗹𝗶𝗪𝗪 𝗪𝗪𝗪. Leave morality and surrender unto me. Now there's a link. You understand? That is why 𝗙𝗲𝗹𝗪𝗪 𝗪𝗪𝗪. That is why we know the most important verse is 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗪 𝗪𝗪𝗪 māme kam sharanam vraja, because there's a link with first chapter. If you have a disease, doctor will give you appropriate medicine, no? So that's a disease, morality over devotion. Krishna turns that, devotion over morality. So, Yamunacharya linked like that. Yeah.
Well, the question is, did he know the devotion when in the first chapter or second chapter? He didn't know the devotion, right?
No, he didn't know. But Krishna could diagnose that Arjuna is not accepting my will and he is attached to morality. So then Krishna brings up the concept of devotion. Devotion means accepting my will, and that should be more important. So that's the point. Okay, everybody understood? It's pretty clear? So that's how you link both things. Never accept anything blindly. Otherwise, we are superstitious. You see, so many years we have been quoting this verse, 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗪𝗪 𝗪𝗪𝗪. We have been saying that to people now. But we never questioned, why should I accept this? Well, it might seem you are challenging, or it's not challenge, it is question. And you have to question, and all answers are there. But answers will not come to you until unless you question. Srimad Bhagavatam, you see. So whenever Parikshit is asking question to Sukdev, or Shaunak Rishi is asking question to Sutta Goswami, what they are saying? Thank you very much. No, they are applauding. It's a very nice question. And you are a great soul that you have asked this question, because question will open doors to answer. If there's no question, no answers. So don't be afraid of asking questions. Ask questions. Why it's like that? Okay, fine, first chapter. So fine. But Krishna doesn't give medicine right away. That's 18th chapter. So to give medicine to a patient, you can give to him if he is an adult. If he is a child, you have to convince him, no? First you have to, child will not take medicine. We are like child, we are like stupid people, naughty. So Krishna has to convince Arjuna to take that medicine. He has to develop a theme. First, to say that devotion over morality, he has to define what is morality. He has to define what is devotion. And then he can put his proposal, no? Otherwise he can't do that. So that's what is happening between 2nd chapter to 17th chapter. He wants to now define what is devotion. Because for now, Arjuna, devotion is not important. Why? Because he doesn't understand what's the importance of that. He wants to define devotion. And devotion starts with accepting the fact that we are body, we are not the body, we are soul. And that is what is 2nd chapter. The teaching of 2nd chapter is that we are not this body, we are soul. Krishna starts from this point. Okay, fine. And then, if we are soul, our duty is to serve Krishna. Duty of soul is to serve Krishna. Duty of body is to follow morality. What is more important? Soul. Krishna proves that. That is why spirituality is more important, surrender is more important, morality is not important. So, you should surrender to me and leave morality. 𝗙𝗲𝗪 𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗀. Gita finished. So second chapter Gita should finish, no? But it doesn't finish. Krishna has something in his mind. He has something in his mind. He wants to continue speaking. And what is third chapter? What's the name of third chapter? Karma Yoga. So why that chapter is there? Even second chapter, pretty much everything Krishna has told. How many verses second chapter has? 72. Yeah, it is a second largest chapter after 18th. So many verses Krishna spoke in second chapter. He pretty much spoke everything. Contents of Gita summarized. No, he summarized everything. Why do you need third chapter? Krishna doesn't like to waste his time. He doesn't have time. He has many other things to do. He has to play, he has to eat his lunch, and he doesn't have time to speak all this. And he doesn't like to waste time.
Because once we understand we are a soul, we should know how we should be doing or dealing with this world. So that's why.
Okay, yeah.
That's why he gave the knowledge of karma yoga.
Yeah. But before that, there's one thing. Karma, you want to tell something? Yeah, speak. It's good to have answers. And
he basically wants us to reconnect with the external energy, and he's giving us steps. So he wants our soul to connect with the external energy or the all-powerful energy.
in second chapter, Krishna tells Arjuna, soul and body. It's difference, okay? And he says, what is activity of soul, what is activity of body? Okay, fine. So everything is finished, no? So, well, just understand this, go to a cave, sit there, finish pretty much, and die and go back to Krishna. Khatam ho gaya. Why do you need third chapter? Why do you want to interact with this word, first of all? You understand my point, argument? Krishna can argue, why do you want to interact with word? Everything is clear, Baba, leave everything, go to Vrindavan, sit, chant, die there, come back to me. Khatam. Why do you want this word? Khatam ho gaya na? So why karma yoga? Yeah, she wants to, she's thinking something. You have to press that button, yeah.
Because I think when Krishna gave this knowledge to Arjuna, many people in the world have forgot that they are soul. And they are here for a purpose because he wants us to run this material world
really?
as well.
No, he doesn't want us to run this material world. This is a prison. If prison is empty, that's good, no? It's nice. So he wants this to be empty. He doesn't want people to be here. He doesn't want. Who cares for this material? This material world is like a backyard in your house. This entire universe is house of Krishna, that's backyard. Who cares? Something is going on this. Yeah. So, karma yoga should not be there. It's finished, second chapter. Krishna is mad. He's just speaking complete nonsense, no? But no, there's a sense to that.
So, we are in the material world. We are bound by the characters of material world. So, we will be doing some karma.
Okay, you are something too near to that, okay, fine. You'll be doing some karma, okay, fine. But then, well, you can go to 𝗪𝗪𝗃 and take a house, sit there, you don't need to do job and everything. And Krishna will give you $1 million, $2 billion. Sit there, no karma required, chant and nice, that's all. See, if I give you a proposal, you read second chapter, and I'll give you $2 billion. You go to Himalaya, sit there. Will you do any karma? You'll do a job? No, no.
So the thing is, even
so
after
why do you need karma yoga? But still you will need karma yoga.
Yeah, the answer is, even after going to 𝗪𝗪𝗃 with $1 million, because we are restless, we cannot sit and chant. We have to do something, because that has become the nature of the persons. And by karma yoga, he is kindly allowing us a way to connect to him by whatever work we do.
Okay. Somewhere you're all to the point, coming around the point. Yeah, and then I'll tell you what's...
I think Krishna wants to discuss all the options.
I think, don't say I think.
Krishna wanted to discuss all the options? What are all possible to reach him?
No.
And then tell the pros and cons?
That's one perspective, but we are not taking that perspective. We are taking devotional perspective. Okay, Karma Yoga. What is Karma Yoga? See, now you also know body. You are not this body or soul, but have you realized it? So, that's why you need some chapter. You need some science to realize this. And the science to realize this concept of soul and body is Karma Yoga. It starts with Karma Yoga. So whether you're in Himalayas, whether you're in a cave, you're anywhere, you need this science. And just like in college, you have a theory class and you have practicals. You have lab and theory. This is theory and Karma Yoga is lab. This entire world is a big lab. For fools, it is a dream. For people who want to enjoy, this world is the place of enjoyment. But for wise people, this is a big lab where you can put your knowledge to practice and realize it. Got my point? So Karma Yoga means the art of actions by which you realize that your soul, you're not this body. That is why there's this third chapter. Third chapter will help you to transform information into, or knowledge into wisdom. And information to realization. That is Karma Yoga. At least Srila Prabhupada takes this perspective. Prabhupada translates Karma Yoga as Krishna Consciousness. Isn't it? Prabhupada takes this perspective. So that's important to understand how to interact with this word in such a way that this word is not an obstacle, but this word starts helping us. Such a beautiful science. Krishna is... So there's a verse in second chapter, 64th verse. Anybody knows? Second 64. If anybody tell me this verse, I'll give you prize. $1 billion. No. That, I don't even have that. Okay, $100. I can give $100. No, now it's $100. Now no hint. Second chapter, 64th verse. Anybody? You know why I'm asking you this? To inspire you to, please, don't take it lightly. Don't take lightly. Read these books. You have to remember these books. You can afford to forget your name, but don't forget these verses. This is Krishna. Krishna and his book, Gita is not different, no? You can't afford to forget Krishna. So second 64, what's that? That is 𝗪𝗪𝗃 vishaya indriyesh atma vashair vedhatma prasadam adhikacchati. Krishna says, who gets mercy? They're projecting it? Okay. Who gets mercy? A person who knows how to act in this world without rag and dvesh, without hate and envy. He acts, he doesn't leave, he acts in this world without hate and envy, and by his actions he make this material world favorable to himself. Oh, this is. Thank you for that. One who can control his senses by practicing the regulative principles of freedom. This is nice, regulative principles of freedom. See, Prabhupada says regulative principles of freedom. It was there. Hare Krishna. I think, we should get it quickly because... So, regulative principles of freedom. This is nice. He can attain all mercy. He can attain mercy. See, there's a verse. Okay, that's it now. Able of freedom can obtain complete mercy of Lord. See, this is how you attain mercy. And this is a very beautiful verse. This verse, if you understand, this verse is a horror movie for Jnanis and Yogis. They can't understand this verse. It's out of their mind. Because Krishna is saying, Vishaya Indriyesh Charan. Krishna is saying, you have to be detached, but at the same time you have to make your senses work. You have to interact with this world. At the same time you have to be free from attachment and envy. It's impossible. How do you do that? You're interacting with matter. but still you have to be detached. Is it possible? Krishna is putting an impossible proposal. For Jnani, and that is why Jnanis and Yogi, they leave this material world, no? They run away. My God, that's not possible. If I drink water, if I take some tasty things, taste is going to come. We'll become trapped in that, no? So how to do this? So Krishna says here, this is a science of Karma Yoga. By the science of Karma Yoga, what a devotee does, Atma Vashair Vidhay Atma. For a devotee is very intelligent. If you can't fight the enemy, you make him friend. That's the advice of Narottam Das Thakur. If you face a very big enemy, there are two options. Either you run away, but you can't run away from this word. Where do you run away? You can't run away from this word because the word is not outside you, the word is inside you. If you think this is word, if you think you are living in America, you're wrong. America is inside you. You have to understand that. It's inside us. We can't go. So what to do? Krishna says, fine. If you can't run away from enemy, another option is make it a friend. Try to learn from it. So how to learn from an enemy? You know how? If you don't have enemy, you don't become strong. Enemy helps you, no? So if there's no enemy, if you're simply practicing, you don't become expert. You have to go in the field and really fight with the enemy. And the more the opposition, the more expert you become. Make sense? So the more the opposition from Maya, the more expert you become. If for childish devotees will think, oh Maya, she is dangerous. She is dangerous, we know. But an expert devotee, he can use that Maya to make himself strong. That is nice. That is what is said by Madhvacharya. Maya has two meanings. One is illusion and one is mercy. There is another meaning of Maya, mercy. So for devotee, this material world is mercy of God. God has made a big lab for us to apply this theoretical knowledge and test where we are, no? Now in class everybody is hearing, we are not soul, we are body. Oh, yeah, sorry. We are soul and we are not this body. We are hearing this, no? Fine. You can hear for 100 years. But how do you know you have realized? For that you have to go to a beach. You have to go to a movie. And if your mind is disturbed, you have not realized. You got my point? Otherwise, how do you realize that? You can't realize. Or females can go to shopping mall. If they are inspired to shop and they like to shop. If they are attracted to those, well, and you don't realize. If there's attraction to matter, this means we have not realized that we are spirit souls, we are not this body. And this material world gives an opportunity to test ourselves whether we are attracted or not. Get my point? That is Karma Yoga. That is why this word is like a lab. So this is one perspective. If you read Prabhupada purports very nicely, Prabhupada is actually taking this angle of Karma Yoga. Generally, acharyas take another angle of Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. So we have yoga ladder and all these things. That's one system to understand. Prabhupada takes both perspectives. But this is a devotional perspective of Bhagavad Gita. So, okay, fine. So finish, Bhagavad Gita is finished. That's all. Okay, close it. 4th, 5th chapter, finish. But Krishna continues, 4th chapter. What is the name of 4th chapter? What's that? 4th chapter. That's 5th. Transcendental knowledge, okay. What's that chapter doing? Why Krishna wants to speak transcendental knowledge? Karma Yoga finished. He has told us signs to realize what is soul, we are not this body. We have realized, it's finished. I think we can just, yeah, 4th chapter, okay, fine, we can show that. Oh, actually, Prabhu, you should not show because I want to ask a quiz. And if you show, then yeah, just close it. When I'll say, then just close it off. Okay, so that's transcendental knowledge. I think just close it because it's fine. Thank you. So okay, fine. 4th chapter is transcendental knowledge. What that chapter is doing? What's the point? You got my point? Transcendental knowledge. Can anybody tell me? And I want to quickly go because I'll not finish my Vaida now. What's happening, by the way? I think, yeah. Okay. Fourth chapter is transcendental knowledge. Now you see, second chapter, he gives science of soul. Third chapter, he tells how to realize that science, that we are soul, karma yoga. This is a lab, apply that. And fourth chapter is transcendental knowledge. When you get realizations, when you apply this science, you will get realization, you'll get wisdom. What is that realization? What is the nature of that realization? What is the nature of that wisdom? How do we know that we have got that realization? That all these things Krishna mentions in fourth chapter. No? When we get realizations, we should know we have got realization. No? How to check whether we are confused or not? Maybe we are thinking I am realized, but we are not. Many people are like that. Sahajya, sentimental people are like that. No? So to give us a distinction between mundane knowledge and transcendental knowledge. Transcendental means realized knowledge. Transcendental means realization. So that is fourth chapter, okay? So science of realization and then nature of realization. Transcendental knowledge, fourth chapter. So now, okay, you got realization, you know what is realization. It's pretty much over. What is fifth chapter? Action in. So what's that chapter doing there? What Krishna has in mind? He still has some points in mind. Something else has to be explained. There's some problem left. And the problem is, after you have got realization that your soul, you're not this body. Fourth chapter. Now the point to note is, you see, I told you, Bhagavad Gita, these 18 chapters are not chapters. These are progressive stages of realizations. So some people are still on first chapter. You understand? You can read 18 chapter, but we are still on first chapter. Some people are stuck on second chapter. Some people on third. Very few on fourth. Because very few of us realize that we are soul, we are not this body. We are still stuck on third chapter. What to do? To reach 18th chapter, it's difficult. Fourth, then after you have realized your soul, you are not this body to a certain extent. Fifth chapter is action in Krishna consciousness. How to protect that realization. How to act with that realization. Action in Krishna consciousness. Got my point? You have got realization now, but still you have to act in this world. And your actions can destroy those realizations. Buddhinasho pranashyati. No? There are so many temptations. How to protect that realization when you are acting? What is the science of action where you can act and yet protect your realizations and even nurture that? That is fifth chapter, action in Krishna consciousness. You understand? You see the theme? Krishna is developing a theme slowly and steadily, and he's guiding devotees. He's helping devotees to advance. And what is sixth chapter? Dhyana Yoga. Yeah, Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana Yoga means, Krishna says, well, whatever you do, be attentive. Dhyan means attentive. So, be attentive. Whether you follow the process of Dhyana Yoga, whether not. Process is Dhyana Yoga, but the principle is be attentive. Got my point? So Arjuna says, Krishna, to me to follow this process of Ashtanga Yoga, Kriya Yoga, Raj Yoga, whatever name you give, that's impossible. Krishna says, no problem. You leave the process, take the principle. Leave the process, take the principle. That's devotee, intelligent, no? Leave the process, take the principle. What is the principle? Be attentive. Be attentive whatever you are doing. Be attentive means, yeah, what do you mean by being attentive? We have heard so many times, no? Be attentive. Oh, that's offenses there, no? 10th offense? What's that? Yeah, to be inattentive while chanting. So what do you mean by being attentive? Can anybody tell me what do you mean by being attentive? Thank you, Prabhupada. Yeah. Quickly, because there's just 5 minutes and I can't finish my Bhagavad Gita now, but I'll do something. Okay. Yeah, yes, Mataji. Yeah. Yeah, mic.
To be conscious of Krishna and to be have that feeling, that loving feeling.
Okay, yeah, to a certain extent, yeah. To be conscious of Krishna. Okay, my question is, what should we do so that we can always be conscious of Krishna? That's the question.
We bring the mind back each time it wanders off.
How to do that? That's the question. That's what I'm asking, being attentive.
By chanting Hare Krishna. Because chanting cleans the heart.
But then the point is, everybody chants, but still mind goes off here and there, even after so many years. So what
but it's a practice. You practice. Keep bringing the mind back. Practice, practice.
So is there any technique in the practice? There's some technique?
Chanting and hearing.
No, okay, fine. My question is, what is the technique of chanting and hearing? There's a chapter in Nectar of Devotion, technique of chanting. What is the technique? There's some secret there. And that is why Prabhupada says, be attentive while chanting. Now, what do we mean by be attentive while chanting? Now, we are chanting, but what do we mean by being attentive? Okay, fine, bring mind back, but the question is how to do that? Because many times we hear, bring your mind back, but we have to, how to do that? It's impossible, it seems impossible. It just, mind goes. That's my question. And the answer to this question is the answer to the question, what do we mean by being attentive? That's what my point.
And my suggestion is just chanting Hare Krishna, after you chant, the process starts to work. Because the chanting is so powerful that it starts cleaning your heart.
Fine. So what is the mechanism, how this process works? My question is, what is the science? What is happening? That is science, no? Okay, it works.
It's cleaning the heart. And so the mind's easier and easier to bring back. And to be attentive, easier and easier. Yeah. The process works as the years go on. But you have to practice.
I accept that. We accept that. It's understood. But how? I need some more details. Is there some more explanation how it goes?
Is it because the senses are engaged in serving the master of the senses?
Okay, I'll just finish now. I'll just tell you. Prabhupada has said in Nectar of Instruction, devotion means enthusiasm. You read that? 𝗪𝗂𝗪𝗔 in the purport Prabhupada says. Devotion means enthusiasm. Enthusiasm, you can be enthusiastic in something when you have interest in that. If you don't have interest, you don't have enthusiasm, no? And to get interested in something, you should know that subject matter. If you don't know that subject matter, you don't have interest. And to know that subject matter, you need attention, no? That's the point. So attention means, to be attentive means to know your subject matter thoroughly. And by that attention, you get interest. By interest, you get enthusiasm. By enthusiasm, then your mind gets, more enthusiastic you are, you can destroy your inertia. And your mind can get fixed in something. That's what Prabhupada gives us logic. So, attention means to know your subject matter thoroughly. To know why you are doing what you are doing and why you are doing. That's the idea. To understand the logic and science behind all your actions, all your thoughts, all your emotions, why we should do this. And if you can understand, Prabhupada says, try to understand Krishna so many times. Try to understand him. It's not enough to know Krishna is great, how he is great, Prabhupada says. So, that's a point. In ISKCON, we devotees, we want to be attentive. But the point is, we can be attentive, but the point is we can't be attentive simply by saying that we have to be attentive. You have to do something, and you have to understand these things. You have to read Prabhupada books. You have to spend time. And I have seen, everybody knows, that devotees do not read Prabhupada books. Everybody knows that. That is a legacy of ISKCON. I should like to put it like that. We are not reading Prabhupada books. Prabhupada had a complaint that time. Still Prabhupada has this complaint. Please read books of Prabhupada. And reading means please contemplate on that. Think why Prabhupada is saying this. Every line, every statement, every word of Prabhupada is important. He has something in his mind. And then he's speaking. When he's saying be attentive, there is a verse, there is a Sanskrit verse for this. Attention is enthusiasm. Attention is interest. Vishwanath Thakur, there is a verse in Madhurya Kadamini. Exact verse Prabhupada is quoting here. So there is a system to read Prabhupada books also. When you're reading Prabhupada, you can also think what Prabhupada is thinking. which verses he's thinking. So he's thinking in some verses and he's speaking in English, he's doing in English. So like that. So that is attention. So point is, 6th chapter Krishna says Dhyana Yoga. If you want concentration in holy name, be attentive in holy name, try to understand Krishna. That's all. Then your chanting will be very nice. So yesterday I was there in Stockholm. I'll finish here now. Gita is not finished. So, but from 6th chapter to 7th chapter, it is impossible to go. There is a big gap between 6th, 7th. Most of us can make up to 6th chapter, but 7th chapter you can't do yourself. You need mercy. There's a big abyss. Because 6th chapter is attention, 7th chapter is knowledge of absolute truth. Krishna is now revealing himself. If you practice nicely, if you're attentive, if you're practicing this science, by his mercy, Krishna will reveal his qualities. Very few are on 7th chapter. So I'll finish by this thing, that's all. That please read about Krishna. My request is that please discuss about Krishna. We are in ISKCON. It's Krishna consciousness, but we are not Krishna conscious. We don't act Krishna consciousness. And yesterday I was doing a program in, where were we yesterday? Sacramento. And I asked them a question, I'll finish here. I asked them, can anybody speak for 5 minutes on anklets of Krishna? 5 minutes, that's all. Just come. And you have to describe anklets of Krishna. Can anybody do that? 4 minutes? 3 minutes? 2 minutes? I'll give you $200. 1 minute? No, children are not allowed. Not even half second we can speak on anklets of Krishna. How can we expect we can focus on chanting? We don't have.
I'll tell you about the anklets of Krishna.
Huh?
Mother Jasoda would put on his anklets every morning. And
okay.
and so his friend Madhu Mangal would hold Krishna's flute. And
that's okay, Mataji, you can speak. I think he has to finish.
Also the anklets
Fine.
Gopal
we can keep on discussing.
was walking behind.
You know what, Mataji, one thing I've so I was in Jagannath Puri, and there was one saint giving katha, and he was speaking on anklets of Krishna. My friend was there, I was there, and I asked him, okay, so tomorrow what are you going to speak upon? He was saying, what? Last 3 months I am speaking on anklets of Krishna. I can't even imagine in my dreams, 3 months, how can you speak on anklets of Krishna? And I learned from him, this is the enthusiasm to know who is Krishna. So please discuss about Krishna, read Krishna book, read Nectar of Devotion, discuss who is Krishna, how he walks, how he talks, how he plays flute, discuss about his philosophy, and that is Krishna consciousness. Then we can have interest and we can understand all these things. Thank you very much. That's all. Time is up.
His Grace Keshav Anand Prabhu ki jai.
I'll just, 2 minutes, I'll just speak something about, this is, we are opening a college in Kurukshetra, myself, Vedic Revival College and Research Center. And this college will give all knowledge about Vedas, Upanishads. We are trying to preserve Vaishnava culture, different Vaishnava cultures. And the 2 important things about this college is, we'll teach you Sanskrit in 1 month, which takes 12 years. Because I have been studying Sanskrit since last 20 years. When I came to ISKCON, I started studying Sanskrit, even before that. And there's a system to learn Sanskrit. In 1 month, you will not become scholars, but you learn Sanskrit, you can appreciate and you can go deep in. That's important. That's important. And education is free for all. You just have to buy a ticket, come. And there will be Sanskrit, Bengali, Vedas, Upanishads, Madhva, Nimbark, Vallabhacharya, all Vaishnava Sampradayas, philosophy. You choose drama, music, whatever you want to learn. 1 month, 2 months, 1 year courses you opt, learn and come back. So I request all devotees to bless me so that we can do this thing. This is for Prabhupada's desire to open a Vedic college in Kurukshetra. This we are opening in Kurukshetra. So let's hope it comes up. It will be very helpful for devotees because there's no training. I've been traveling in America since 1 month and all temples, it's very sad, they're empty. There's no systematic training. So we can do that. It will be good. Devotees will feel enthusiastic. I have some books. You can buy them from there. This is one CD, Core Concept. I've been giving seminar for 3 days, last 3 days here. That CD of that seminar, Core Concepts of Devotional Service. Core concepts means the most important concepts which you should know in order to advance and be attentive in devotional life. It is from Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Vishwanath, Jiva, Rupa Goswami, all acharyas. I've compiled some 8 concepts, core concepts. You can buy this, hear this. I've given evidences from Prabhupada. I've shown how Prabhupada is genius, but we have to know how to appreciate his genius. We have to go in his words and understand. This is a CD which will play in your DVD player also and computer also. MP3, yeah. So you can have this, and this is like 14-15 hours of lectures, all from Prabhupada books, and you can learn. This is one book, Mighty Efforts. All what I have to say, and I'll be saying in all my lectures, I couldn't finish. I've compiled this book, and the name is Mighty Efforts. How to put efforts in service of Krishna. The more efforts we put, the more mercy. So this book talks about that. So definitions, what is service, what is attention, what is chanting, how do we know we are advancing. And then these are 2 books. This is Crazy Ideas. For preachers, we preach, we face so many crazy people and crazy ideas. So all these ideas are there, anti-arguments. Why do you want to chant? Why do you want to be vegetarian? Why do you want to serve Krishna? Why not demigods? All these stuff and many more things with proper anti-arguments. And this Prabhupada said in Morning Walk, the modern world is a society of cheaters and the cheated. Unfortunately, cheaters are eulogizing the cheaters, and small cheaters are worshipping great cheaters. Prabhupada said this many times. So I read this. Prabhupada is often saying cheaters and cheated. So I thought maybe in service of Prabhupada, we can show how Prabhupada has analyzed and summarized the society. So this book is Cheaters and the Cheated, and I'm showing how Prabhupada was correct in his perception, how everybody is cheating us. Historians, linguists, philosophers, scientists, corporate, media, everybody is cheating us. Perhaps we are cheating ourselves. So this is this book, and you can know what is going behind the scenes, from science, from philosophy, from all the dimensions. And then there are some Hindi books, Hindi CDs you can have there. And thank you very much for tolerating me. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for a wonderful seminar for the past 3 days.
Oh, okay. Oh,
thank you.
You were listening?
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
I would like to request all the parents to have their kids seated on the left side next to Madan Mohan's altar, so they can take turns. And we are celebrating the Krishnaveen festival at the temple. We do the Halloween in Krishna way. We have kids beautifully dressed. They're going to say 1 or 2 sentences about who they are. So devotees have to guess what costume are they wearing. Or if they don't have a costume, then they have to guess about the concept they are trying to put forward. So so we're going to get started now. Do you mind moving this? Be careful. किधर रखना है? So we're going to get started as soon as we are. Haribo. So we can start with, may I request everybody to be seated so we can get started quickly. So we will be right on time for Damodar Aarti. So we're going to start off. I will call out the name of the kid, and the kid will come and tell us just 1 sentence about who he's representing or she's representing today. And devotees have to guess who he is actually representing for today. We start with Abhay. Abhay Charan is here.
Baba, I want to go to Jagannath Puri in my summer vacation.
Did you all guess?